Okay, so hello and welcome to episode 2 of my vlog, Romance Part 1. We'll be getting into my first romance story. And okay, this is like really awkward talking in front of like a camera because I don't know, I feel like I'm acting weird and it's like, whatever. Oh wait, and it's Christmas. So you can see the lights up there. Put them up because it's Christmas time, which was in the last episode. Also, I just made this episode. It's the same day because same shirt. So, um, anyways, oh yeah, and, I broke this lamp. I broke my lamp accidentally, but it provides for good lighting because how good does that look? Anyways, whatever, it works out. Also, I got my script here. There. You see me like looking over here, then I'm looking at my script, basically. Anyways, so let's get into it. Characters. So the characters in my story will be me. And Kendall will show up a little bit. She's like a good friend of mine who I always would talk to on the phone about like my lady issues. She was the first of them. I'll talk about this girl in Florida who I met while I was down in Florida, vacationing there, and met in the campsite and we talked, and then became Facebook friends, and then yeah. And then the main person who I'll be talking to is Lopino. That'll be like the first. This will be the first time I'll bring up an issue or a lady problem with it. And then there's the girl who's her name is Brooke. She's a senior, and yeah, let's get into it. So basically, I've always been told from many different people that your junior year is like your best year. I mean, it's either their favorite year or it was just like their best year, whatever that means. So I was really excited to go in because the summer was ending. So yeah, let's go. So the first day of school, I go through all my classes, astronomy and World War II, and it's just all these great classes, and I'm just like, man, this is great. Junior year is going to be great. But that didn't even reach the high point. The high point was in my last hour, which was biology 2, and I saw this girl who I'd never seen before, and she was beautiful, which was weird for me because I thought that I've seen everybody in my school. But yeah, so, but that wasn't even the most shocking part for me. The most shocking part was the fact that I would catch her looking at me, and whenever she would look over at me, I would look away, the whole flirting thing. And man, that was great. And that went on for about a week. And man, I was loving life. My classes were great. My teachers were great. This girl was flirting with me. I mean, I'm on top of the world. But then Monday came, and it all ended. All of it. She just didn't look at me once, and I was devastated. I was like, what's going on? So I contacted the girl from Florida, and she told me that it could be either two things. Either it was just a Monday, and she just wasn't having it, Mondays, we all have them. Or that she didn't think that I was going to do anything else, so she was kind of like, well, why am I doing this if nothing's going to happen? So I needed to move on to the next step and talk to her. So later on that week, we have a quiz, and the teacher announces who got 100%, which she was the only one who got 100%. So then I was like, all right, this is my chance. So after class, as we all walked out to the parking lot, I went up to her and I congratulated her on getting 100%. I missed one question, so I didn't get 100, but I still got an A. Anyways, so I go up to her and I congratulate her, and then I'm like, I introduce myself. I'm like, I'm Kyle, and she's like, I'm Brooke, and I'm like, nice to meet you. And then we go our separate ways and drive off. And I'm like, yeah, I talked to her, yeah. So that was really great for me. And then after that, I talked to her every day after class is over. And then a week or two passes, and I'm like, I need to get her phone number. So I talked to some of my friends, the gang, and I talked to Mr. Lopino, and I'm like, okay, how should I go about this? And so with the collective feedback from all of them, I decide that I should probably give her my number so I can find out if she likes me or not. So then the next day, after class, I go up to her and I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like something like, I like talking to you and we should text or something. I don't know. Something like that. It wasn't anything good or smooth, but it was just something. She was like, oh, okay. So I pull out a piece of paper that I had already prepared, ripped off in class, and then I started writing it down on my hand like this. Oh, it's just the stupidest thing ever. So then I give it to her, and then we go off our separate ways. And so then I head home, and I'm like, all right, I gotta wait and wait and wait and wait. So I go to my favorite place in the world, which would be the park I go to. And I love this park. It's really beautiful, and it's huge, and like there's almost nobody ever there. So I'm like, all right, this is the perfect spot. Yeah, and I consider like my kingdom or whatever. So anyways, so I go up there and I sit there. I climb some trees. I run around, all that stuff. And then it's starting to get dark, and I'm just beaten, and I'm just like, oh, she doesn't like me. So I go home. I get home, and I get out of the car, and I'm walking up to the house, and then my phone goes off. And I'm like, oh, I get really excited. I'm like, this is her. So I pull out the phone, and it says, hey, from a number I didn't have. And I'm like, all right. So I text her, and we text back, and then it turns out it's not her. Apparently, the same day, some guy gave his phone number to a girl, and she couldn't read it, and so she ended up typing in my number instead. How crazy is that? Yeah. So anyways, we text for a little bit, and I'm like, all right, well, I hope you find your dude, and you guys, have fun and get together. And then we stopped texting, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, she doesn't like me. And that'll be the end of part one. I'll get into to part two and finish up the Brooke story, which is, yeah, I talked to her after it, and I'm like, yeah, I won't get into it. No spoilers yet. And yeah, homecoming's coming up and stuff. So, and then yeah, in part two I'll get into the next girl story too. So yeah, thanks for watching.